Scary, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your souls.
Hey guys, it's Nickfamous here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Jumble News video. Now, this is basically just a video of me telling you a bunch of news and things to think about that we've gotten from Mortal Kombat X in the last couple of days. I've been a bit late on everything, but I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so people are saying Sonya Blade has been leaked. As we see in this picture here, we see that Sonya Blade is the representation for the Special Forces faction online. Well, we think it's Sonya Blade anyways, because it certainly doesn't look like Cassie, but later on we see Cassie Cage herself as the representation of the Special Forces faction. Kind of confusing. So, what I've thought over this is not Sonya Blade being leaked, because I really don't see Sonya Blade being in the game, because, like, I don't know, Cassie Cage is good enough. But I'm just saying that I believe that we're going to be seeing Sonya Blade in the form of a costume for Cassie Cage, like kind of similar to what they did with the Sub-Zeros in Mortal Kombat 9, where Bi-Han and Kui Lang were differentiating in each costume. Same idea with Cassie Cage. She'll have one of her mother, and etc. So that's just my take on that. We've seen a few character leaks here. Like, it looks like people are saying this is Jax, and like we see Melina and Baraka. I don't know, and these are all just in the Challenge Tower. Just because we see these characters in the Challenge Tower doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be playable. Now, I do agree that Melina will most likely be playable. I can see Baraka returning, and sadly, I can't see Jax returning as well. As personally, I think that we should leave the Mortal Kombat 9 characters alone, maybe bring back one or two more. But I want to see some new characters and some 3D era characters. However, just because they're in the Challenge Tower photo, or at least we think they are, doesn't necessarily mean they're in the game. Because in Mortal Kombat 9, you could play as both Goro and Tremor in the Challenge Tower. However, they were not playable regularly, leading me to believe that just because we see cameos or such in the Challenge Tower, not a confirmation. Also, another thing to note, it's confirmed right here that Rain and Cyrax are going to be having hints, or they have assists in the Challenge Tower, as I should say. Or test your might, or test your luck, sorry, test your luck is what I believe they were helping. And there's one called like Cyrax's bombs and something about rain. They both interfere with the battle, meaning that they're going to get a cameo and their chances got just that much higher. I'll show the clip here where they explain that.
The really exciting thing that this kind of leads into is one of the little mods on one of the tower challenges was called Cyrax Assist.
Cyrax Assist. Yeah.
And that one, of course, the little Cyrax bombs
yeah.
come from either side of the screen and kind of screw your whole day up.
Yeah, and he wasn't the only character that they teased.
That's right. So it was, and then one of the other mods for the towers, for the living towers, was something where was Rain Assist, where Rain's bubble comes in and lifts them up in the air. Yeah. So let's be really clear. This wasn't an indication that we asked them. They didn't say one way or the other whether or not these characters are going to be in it. But it's pretty significant that both Rain, Jade,
yeah.
and Cyrax have all been called out by name somewhere in the game. I think that's definitely significant.
Similarly to the supposed GameStop leak we got of Melina and Shang Tsung. If you guys don't know about that, I'm going to link my video about it in the description below. However, apparently Shang Tsung and Melina have been leaked in a promotional video for GameStop's Mortal Kombat X. Similar happened today. I'll show you the clip here.
Years into the future, where you'll fight as both returning characters and new ones.
Raiden, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion return, and even though Johnny Cage doesn't, his daughter Cassie Cage makes her debut.
Other new fighters include Devora, an insect-like woman.
It appears as if Johnny Cage has been deconfirmed. However, two things. They're not really a trusting source, GameStop. I don't see how they would know the full roster. They might. However, what I'm thinking is Johnny Cage, the only reason they think Johnny Cage isn't in the game is because he hasn't been announced so far. I wouldn't say, all you Johnny Cage fans out there, including me, I wouldn't go let your hopes down that he's not in the game, because I'm sure he will be. And I'm thinking he'll be more DLC than main roster, and anything's fine with me because I like Johnny Cage. However, I do not think that this GameStop is a deconfirmation. We also see this new thing called a faction kill. Now, a faction kill, in my opinion, we don't know anything about it aside from this. Looks like a Special Forces faction kill. Shows like a flamethrower bot killing Kano. So I believe that faction kills are similar to fatality inputs, and we're going to be getting those codes only when you win a faction online Mortal Kombat X. There's not a whole lot to say on that, as all we saw was this, so I'll leave it at that. Speaking of finishing people, we get to see a little tidbit of Quan Chi's second fatality, as we see him holding Kotal Khan between two portals and breaking it off, similar to Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 9. We only see a very small bit of this, but it turns out that I'm really liking the look of his second fatality, if this is what it's like. It kind of reminds me of Portal, the game Portal. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I don't know. It's a pretty cool fatality, I think. It appears that brutalities have been accidentally leaked, as we see in this picture here on the far left of the stats. It says brutality XP 10%. So, meaning that you must get certain XP for using brutalities online. I'm not surprised brutalities have returned. I was kind of expecting them from the start. I can see them being like a hybrid between an X-ray move and a fatality and a big combo, and I think it would look really good and cool in Mortal Kombat X. Not to mention that Ed Boon had even acknowledged this here. One last thing. We see that Jade has pretty much been lowered down to the point her chances that were already low, are so low now that she's not even worth considering for Mortal Kombat X. As we see here, Kitana uses Jade's staff in one of her variations. I'm kind of happy about this, honestly, because I always did like Jade's playstyle with the staff. I thought it was cool, but I didn't want Jade in Mortal Kombat X just because they could have put in so many better characters, and she's kind of just a follower of Kitana, and I don't really like Jade that much. But now that they've implemented that gameplay without putting Jade, I just think it's perfect. I'm going to definitely try out that Kitana Jade staff variation. It looks pretty cool. Tell me what you guys think about that. And before I end off this video, I want to show you an interaction between Cassie Cage and Kitana. Unmasked, by the way.
You have something to say? You're down in one.
Not too sure what to say. They don't seem to be enemies, but they don't really seem to be allies either. Wondering what their relation will be in the Mortal Kombat X story. Only time will tell. Anyways, that's been the video for today, so as always, this has been Infamous. See you later.